Well, if I am going to be doing some talking, I'm going to have some tea. Now, this is my second attempt at getting this video recording set up reasonably. I think I've got the voice at its proper level when I'm talking now. The lighting is a little dramatic maybe, but I'm not sure that there's much I can do about that right now. And perhaps I'm a little close, so I'm going to move my chair back just a bit. There, now I've got more room between the edges and my ears. Not to say between my brain and the edge, because it didn't get bigger or smaller. Now here we go. I've been told, and I believe, that all things are connected. And I've also been told that if you're reading the Bible, and Jesus says something more than once, you might want to pay attention, because he knows what he's talking about. Leaving aside the thought that he is or isn't the Son of God, he was a well-educated rabbi who had a lot of wisdom. And I've decided for myself that when Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and the angel that delivered the Quran to Muhammad all agree on something, you really, really, really should pay attention. And they all agree, at least as I read them, that actions have consequences. You do A, you get B. Some call it karma. Some just say it's proverbial wisdom literature from the Old Testament. Things like the man who sets a snare for his neighbor's feet falls into it himself. If you want to have good relations with your neighbors, be nice, because if you're not, they're not going to like you. Things like that. Simple stuff. Actions have consequences, and all things are connected. And you've heard the theory. If a butterfly flaps its wings in the Far East, it's felt in the Far West. I believe that. Which is why I pay attention to Agent Orange. Some call him the President of the United States, some call him Trump. I go along with Spike Lee and call him Agent Orange. You got to pay attention to that man, because what he does to America, what he does to the relationship of America to the world, is going to affect all of us. He looks very much like he's going to destroy America from what it was and create something new. And if he has his wishes, I'd say he's going to create an empire, because he wants to be emperor. And he can do it. You also might want to think, what happens if he does? What happens to Canada when it's next door to a dictatorship? Who wants what Canada has, i.e. natural resources? And who may see Canada as an easy picking. You may wonder what will happen with that man named Bannon, who helped America elect Trump. He did a real good job. And where is he now? Well, now he's in Western Europe, working with the far right, trying to get them elected. And I dare say if he could do it in America, he can do it in Europe. You can check this out on the news. You don't have to take my word for it. So I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering what happens if the if what was NATO or the free world goes far right, it will certainly scare Putin. Scare? Yeah, probably. And cause him to react. China will take a look at things and react as they will. Certainly Canada doesn't have the power to do too much on its own, so Canada will do it out. There I go. I need another little sip of tea. I have trouble talking. Canada, where I was born, it doesn't have much influence. It'll go and be absorbed by whoever will take them. But we've got to keep an eye on Trump. People are already talking, serious people are talking about what happens if Trump loses the 2020 election. And they're getting a little concerned that he might not go away. He might not relinquish power. He's setting it up. If you listen to him, he's saying that the deep state is trying to work with Russia to influence the election. He's saying that we've got to watch for fraud. We've got to make sure that it's honest because, you know, if it isn't, I don't think I'll want to step down. I don't want to give the leftists the opportunity to turn us into a socialist state. What Trump wants is to become king, emperor, or just a strongman dictator. Put it any way you want. But he doesn't want to give up power. He likes it. I mean, Trump doesn't do governing. He doesn't work with the other two levels of American government. He works by decree. I'm going to sign a paper. And look, I've signed it, so it's now law. It's what he does. He doesn't do consultation. He doesn't make the deal. He says, my way or the highway, like he did on infrastructure. And what he's doing now with the government saying, I'm not going to do anything until you quit investigating me. Well, that's not making the deal, that's playing the dictator. And you gotta watch that, because once he's in, the world will change, the whole world, if he doesn't get kicked out. 8 years of Trump destroying America will create new power bases. And that's the best one to hope for. If he gets defeated and he calls out his militia, and it is his militia, the far right, the alt-right as it's called now, they got a lot of people out there with a lot of weapons and a whole bunch of ammunition. And they may well come out and say, he's staying in the White House. This election was rigged and we'll ring the White House. A little dramatic sounding, I know. But what happens if the police, who he claims as his police, or the military that he claims as his military, or the FBI, the CIA, and all of these other powerful groups in America that he claims as his, that he is controlling and turning to his will. And I know people are tired of hearing this, but look back to history. He's doing what Hitler did. He's getting his own power, he's getting his own police, he's getting his own stormtroopers. Think ICE now. He is controlling the news. He has the people, many people at least, 40% of the American population convinced that only he speaks the truth. He's very definitely moving towards a dictatorship mode, or a Russian style of democracy where everybody gets to vote for me or they get sent to jail or arrested. The only thing he hasn't done yet is started to physically eliminate his opposition. I'm not saying that he will. But traditionally, that's not too far away from where he is now when dictators come to power. He's already trying to lock up all his opposition. He's accusing people of doing treasonous acts. He's a traitor. He's treasonous. And when he was asked, "Sir, are you aware that treason is punishable by death?" He looked at the reporter that asked the question and he started naming the people that he said were traitors and treasonous. I think he's aware. These are dangerous times. Very dangerous times. For those who believe in freedom, generosity, the Ten Commandments, the teachings of the old rabbis, the teachings of Buddhism, anything that any religion or any philosophy that teaches tolerance, wisdom, and compassion is in deep doo-doo right now, and its followers are. In the White House, Agent Orange is doing things that America really doesn't want to accept as being American. Taking children away from their parents. He tried to have mass arrests in multiple cities all at once, but dumb as he is, he couldn't figure out how to get it going all with the proper infrastructure and do it all at once. He couldn't figure out how to do a night of the knives on the immigrants. But one day, if he's still in power, he's going to find somebody smart enough to do it for him. And America is not going to like that. Some of them, but most of them will say, "Great, now we've got these deadly immigrants out of our faces." And, you know, they're only Mexicans. They're only colored. They're not us. That's what Trump's specialty is, you know, deciding and declaring who us is and who us isn't. Making his base get really nasty to the us who isn't us. And that's enough for now. I've got to work on an image, and I'll try to get the image and the video posted together. I hope it looks better now, and I hope it sounds better. I turned off all the fans, which I think was the background. Now I'm going to count to 5, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to go turn my camera on. But before I do that, feel free to agree, feel free to disagree. What I'm really trying to do is create thought, not agreement. So if you think about what I say and you think I'm wrong, well, post a comment, and we'll debate it. We'll have a friendly discussion about where I'm wrong and where you're